I used to make my own passes back in the day at Kezar and go on the field myself and take pictures.
Michael Zagaris has been shooting the football legends for over 40 years.
I had Vince Lombardi. I remember at one point I saw him out in the middle of the field. So I walked out there. I'm in high school. I've got a coat on and a hat. And I said, Mr. Lombardi, I'm working on a book called Sunday Gladiators. Could you, do you have a second? I need a couple pictures. And, he said, yeah, sure. And then I said, hey, can you roll that program up and maybe point out to the future? And he goes, what? Hey, I'm trying to get ready for a football game. Get the out of here, kid. And so I ended up walking to the sidelines, and a friend of mine who'd also snuck on the field, he said, wow, I didn't know you knew Lombardi. I said, yeah, we go way back.
He parlayed his confidence into a full-time job when the DiBartolo family bought the team in 1977. Today, he's one of the longest tenured employees, and on game days, he is seen by many as one of the guys.
Football's not just, it's not action. You see that at the game. You see that on TV. You see it in Sports Illustrated. I wanted to take people above and beyond that. When I first started out, I would walk around before the game. I mean, I dressed with the team. And remember the first few weeks, pre-game, I might have a jock, my long socks taped up, a shirt, and you'd walk around. And initially, guys are going, see, what are you doing? But soon, you're invisible.
He's the 49ers' fly on the wall, having documented their finer moments in all 5 of the Super Bowls. The San Francisco resident remembers events leading up to Super Bowl 19 at Stanford Stadium.
And I remember Bill lying there on his back, and he just started talking out loud, but to himself, saying, they're not ready. They're going to get their ass kicked today. These guys. And it was all motivation, which I didn't know at the time. But I remember taking the picture.
San Francisco won convincingly that day. Some of his best work wasn't captured on the field. He remembers a tense moment on the team bus before Super Bowl 16 in Detroit.
This bus, we got trapped because the vice president at the time, George Bush, and his motorcade were proceeding, so they blocked all the roads. So we literally sat in traffic with snow drifts up to your waist. And finally, Coach stood up and said, hey, guys, some of the guys who are already in uniforms taking the field, we may, if this doesn't move in another 2 or 3 minutes, we're going to actually get up and we're going to walk to the stadium. But I want everybody to hold hands and walk through the snow. Even if you're in a miserable situation, if you're all together, it's a little less miserable and you can kind of joke about it. Right. So we were all telling jokes about that point. This is post Super Bowl 24. And we're in the locker room, in the training room actually, because the press couldn't come in the training room. And Joe's sitting on one of the training tables, munching a hamburger with his dad, just kind of chilling out. And I remember he put on that sweatshirt because he had taken his uniform off. He still had his pants on. And it was from Dwight Clark's restaurant that he used to have in Redwood City, Clark's by the Bay.
18 years since the last Super Bowl, Zagaris hopes to capture memories for the team, the fans, and most importantly, himself.
The big thing for me is to connect with my friends that are still covering it, and it's a smaller and smaller circle.